What if you woke up one morning and couldn't understand a single word, not just a foreign language, but your own? Imagine the street signs are meaningless squiggles. The news on your phone is just a jumble of symbols, and when you open your mouth to ask what's happening, only a confused, empty sound comes out. This isn't a nightmare. This is the day language disappeared. It started silently, no warning, no fanfare. One moment, we were a world of 7 billion storytellers, poets, and negotiators. The next, we were utterly, profoundly mute. The initial moments were pure chaos. People gestured wildly, their faces contorted in a mix of terror and confusion. In the streets, cars sat idle as drivers couldn't read the signs. In hospitals, doctors looked at patients unable to understand their pain or explain a diagnosis. The entire infrastructure of our society, built on the bedrock of shared meaning, crumbled in an instant. Think about your morning routine. The alarm label, the instructions on your coffee maker, the morning news broadcast all gone. You'd stumble through your home, a stranger in a familiar land. The complex web of communication that connects us, from a simple I love you to intricate global treaties, evaporated. We were isolated, each trapped in the silent prison of our own mind. In the first few days, panic was the only language we all understood. Supermarket aisles were a battleground of pointing and grabbing. Without words to mediate, disputes were settled with raw primal emotion. Yet, amidst the breakdown, something remarkable began to happen. Humanity, stripped of its most powerful tool, started to improvise. A new form of communication began to emerge, one that was universal and deeply intuitive. It began with the basics. A pointed finger and a rumbling stomach became the sign for hunger. A hand placed over the heart, a shared look of empathy. We started drawing. Simple pictograms on walls and scraps of paper became the new headlines. A stick figure lying down with crosses for eyes meant danger. A circle with rays meant sun, warmth, and hope. Art, once a form of expression for the few, became a means of survival for the many. Parents, desperate to connect with their children, rediscovered the language of touch and play. A hug became a paragraph of reassurance. A shared game of catch spoke volumes about love and connection. We started paying attention to things we'd long ignored, the subtle shift in someone's posture, the flicker of emotion in their eyes, the cadence of their breathing. We learned to listen not with our ears but with our entire being. Music became our new grammar. A simple melody could convey joy, a somber chord could express grief. People gathered around anyone who could play an instrument, not just for entertainment, but for a sense of shared feeling. A way to experience something together. Drummers created rhythms that signaled community gatherings. Flutes played melodies that told stories of the world before the silence. We were creating a new culture from the ground up, built on sound and symbol. Communities reformed around these new forms of communication. Small groups, bound by a shared set of gestures and drawings, became the new families. Trust was no longer built on promises and contracts, but on consistent action and observable kindness. You couldn't lie with a gesture as easily as you could with words. Our interactions became more honest, more direct. We had to show who we were, not just say it. This new world wasn't without its challenges. Complex ideas were incredibly difficult to convey. Science, philosophy, these pillars of civilization require the precision and abstraction that only language can provide. How do you explain the concept of justice with a drawing? How do you debate quantum physics with a melody? We lost a vast library of accumulated knowledge, and the path to rediscovering it seemed impossibly long. Generations would be born into this new world. For them, the silent era would be normal. They would be masters of this new, non-verbal communication, able to express complex emotions and ideas through a symphony of gestures, sounds, and images that would seem like magic to us. They might look at the ruins of our libraries and wonder what all those strange markings meant. Much like we look at ancient hieroglyphs, would they be less advanced? In some ways, yes, but in other ways they might be more connected, more empathetic, more in tune with each other and the world around them. Without the filter of language, they would experience reality in a more direct, unmediated way. They would live in a world of pure emotion and instinct. The loss of language would force us to redefine what it means to be human. It would be a catastrophic reset, a return to a more fundamental way of being. We would lose the ability to tell our grand stories of the past, but we would become incredibly skilled at living in the present. It's a terrifying thought, but it's also a powerful reminder of what we have. Every word you speak, every sentence you write, is a miracle. Language is the invisible architecture of our minds, the bridge that connects your inner world to mine. It's a gift we inherit, use every day, and often take for granted. So the next time you have a conversation, write a message, or read a book, take a moment to appreciate it. Appreciate the power you hold to share an idea, to tell a story, to simply say, I understand, because in a world without words, that simple act would be the greatest treasure of all. Thanks so much for watching. What do you think would be the hardest part of living in a world without language? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this thought experiment, don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the what-ifs of our world. See you next time.